We watched Halloween Ends last night.
Hey everybody, it's here's our live stream for our
Hello.
morning show this morning. Welcome to
Yes.
the air. All right, couple of things getting kicked off today, which is kind of fun. So it's the last Saturday before NaNoWriMo, so we'll talk a little bit about that and whether or not we have Nano projects coming up. And then we're going to talk about scary stories. I know we've done this before, but I found a bunch of cool new stuff to talk about. So
Excellent.
That's kind of fun. So those show notes will be up on the blog. They're right on sc.blog. And then the other thing we're going to start today is we're going to start challenging each other to either watch a movie or read a book of our choice. And then we're going to come back in and break it down in the final segment of the show.
Absolutely.
So what are you challenging me with this month?
This month is The Doom Generation.
The Doom Generation.
It's Rose McGowan and a bunch of people you've never heard of. And an odyssey through the wastelands of Northern California.
So it says unrated. Does this mean like rated NC-17?
I suppose so. Not explicit, though. There's nothing hardcore in it.
Okay, so Holly could watch it. The 14-year-old could watch it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Well, it is very sexual.
Okay, so no.
Probably not. It's
Sex,
Greg
violence, whatever.
The author, Greg, the director and the writer, Greg Akaki, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. He just loves to show young people having sex.
Oh, well, yeah.
Greg,
we'll leave her out of it, then.
Yeah, probably. Better safe than sorry.
So I had thought to challenge you with American Beauty, but you guys have already seen it.
No, I'll watch it again.
You'll watch it again.
I'll watch it again. I'll go through it. It'll be nice to see it, post scandal.
Yeah, well, so what's interesting about American Beauty it was probably the first time, after college, Charlie and I really get into like filmmaking as an art form and start to try to understand like what's really happening in this film, like what's really being said. And there's so many really cool, like very subtle moments there where things aren't just being pushed at you. And I think like because American Beauty has so much subtlety to it, we don't see a lot of films that do that anymore.
Right.
And certainly not so now that started us on our like Oscar Odyssey, where every year when the Oscar nominations come out, we watch all 10 of the top of the best picture nominations. We try to before the actual ceremony. So that then when we watch the ceremony, we know what's happening and we're like interested in like, which performances and all that. Some years we have better luck than others, but
right.
Like, one year we were able to go to the theater. We did a mix of like Redbox, the theater, streaming services. Like we were able to kind of hit them all. And we watched films that we never would have seen before. I mean, we watched like The Black Swan. We watched, what's the 27 Hours? The one about the guy, James Franco plays the guy that gets trapped in the crevice when he's hiking. Right. He has to cut his own arm off. Like these kinds of films that like we probably either would not have seen or wouldn't have paid any attention to. And it was because American Beauty kind of pushed us into that realm of like, start thinking about what films are trying to do and like the difference in visual storytelling.
Sure.
So that's why I was like, okay, if we're gonna start this thing, like
you're really interested in that.
Start with a place that like I started that got me into like here's what films look like and here's how they work.
Well, as you know, my thing goes more obscure.
Yes.
If you're really interested in that, there's a really good film that I have called The Russian Ark.
Okay.
And it's a film that's shot in one complete take.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half long. You like the opening of Touch of Evil.
Right.
Only the entire film is that way. It's huge pageantry,
that's
too.
The, what was it, 1910 or 1914, whatever that movie was that just came out recently about World War I. And it's shot
1914 or 17?
I think it's 1914.
Or
maybe 1917.
Or 16.
Maybe
1915.
Who knows? In any case, it was taught, it was the film angle was one continuous angle. So right. Like they never cut the film and moved it from place to place. It was always like the camera moved through the scene the way if you were in the scene, would have moved through the scene.
Well, there were cuts.
And well, no. I mean, of course they did revisions afterwards.
This film has no cuts.
Yeah. So
I mean, everyone involved in it, and there's a lot of people involved in it.
But for people who are like you and I, in terms of like, we like to break down the story, understand the story, break
Yes.
down the characters, understand the characters, the representation of it, like how it's actually presented, is where we get into literary fiction conversation. Is like, how did the writer actually tell the story? Where did they drop us in the middle? Like, how did we, why are we participating in this particular way? And I hadn't really done that with films before until American Beauty. And so
Right.
I think it'll be fun, like, as we're exchanging these, to be thinking about like, how did they tell the story and why did they tell it that way? So, okay. Well, anyway, so we got a new challenge. We're going to kick that off in today's episode. I want to say thank you to our patrons. We really appreciate you. Rex and I got a chance to be at the South Carolina Writers Association's conference in Pawleys Island last weekend. And man, we had a good time.
Absolutely.
It was a fantastic conference. Top-notch faculty, super great people who were there.
Yeah.
We're just so
Everyone's
grateful.
fun. Everyone was fun, friendly. Everyone you could talk to.
Yeah, everybody was approachable. It felt like we were just all there, for the right thing and at the right time to talk about writing and the craft.
Yeah.
And so we're grateful to the South Carolina Writers Association for their continued support of the show. If you're looking for your home as a writer, go out to myscwa.org and see if there's not a chapter near you. All right, we're about to go on the air. Appreciate you. We'll see you on makethepointradio.com in just a few minutes. Take care.